Welcome aboard, folks, and here we go into another year. This year's passed very, very fast, and I wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. I hope that was a great time for you and your family, and a very happy and prosperous New Year. And folks, you know, we've had a lot of guests on this show, and survivors and former congressmen and senators and professors and rabbis and pastors and priests. But most of my guests, not a lot of them, but most of my guests have never been aboard a ship that has been what the USS Liberty has gone through. And I've had many survivors tell their story as only they can tell their story, because they saw different things than I did, and the only people that can really tell their story are those people. And I have one of those people on my show tonight. Commander David Lewis was a United States Naval graduate, and he was aboard our ship. He was one of the senior officers aboard the USS Liberty in the research compartment, which would be the spy compartment, if you would like to call it that. But Mr. Lewis, hang on just a moment. I have to do some Liberty business. I always have to do that and get that taken care of and get that out of the way. Then I'll get you right on air, and then we'll get this show started. Folks, you know, as long as I've been doing this show, I've dedicated it to the 34 men that didn't come home that day. 34 young men that lost their lives doing what their government had ordered them to do, is serve their country. And they served their country valiantly and with honor and with dignity. And that's why I do this show, is to give them the greatest honor that I'm able to give them, the honor and dignity they deserve. They do deserve not to go into the ash bin of history and be forgotten, as well as 174 others that were wounded. They also don't deserve that, as well as the families don't deserve that. Now, folks, everybody knows we were attacked by the State of Israel June 8, 1967, in a surprise attack. We didn't know who was attacking us because we couldn't identify them. We were positively identified that morning by the State of Israel as the USS Liberty, AGTR 5. In fact, they looked us up in Jane's Fighting Book and said so on film, that they knew exactly who we were and they knew we were in the area. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the State of Israel decided to attack us anyway, which they did for approximately an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours. In this ruthless attack, hundreds of cannon and rocket holes were pounded into our ship. Napalm was dropped on our ship. Folks, we got to go to a break. We'll be right back. Remember, support your sponsors. Real news, real talk, real people on RBN, because you can't handle the truth. Hang on, folks. We'll be right back. Thank you.
It would be too late for liberty.
Would you like to reclaim lost health? Are supplements only getting you so far? Hey folks, my name is Franklin. I had a heart attack in 2006 that left me with a damaged valve working at only 20% capacity and odds against being here now. Then I found RNA Drops, a patented completement formula that creates perfect cells in your body. My perfect cells helped me to regain heart function and more. What could your body do with perfect cells? For a limited time, you can find out for free. Go to franklinsrnadrops.com and get a free mini bottle, valued at $50 on its way. Just pay shipping and handling. While you're there, you can view our growing line of products and hear amazing stories of what these products have done for others. My story is there as well. That's franklinsrnadrops.com. Start reclaiming your health today by giving your body what it needs. I cannot wait to hear what your perfect cells are doing for you. Thank you.
Golden Stag Safaris invites you to hunt in one of Argentina's most beautiful scenarios. Enjoy the quietness of the Pampas and the 5-star accommodation lodge. Excellent food and wine included in your stay. All the while hunting big game in the Argentine Valley, an area known for having a wide range of game, excellent trophies, the biggest stags in South America, as well as many other species, all gold medal quality. One-on-one guided hunts, rental guns available with the highest quality scopes in every caliber, Land Rovers for transport, pick up at Buenos Aires Airport, and a private aircraft for charter is all available. Go to www.goldenstagsafaris.com to see photos and for more information. Again, www.goldenstagsafaris.com.
Chlorine, fluoride, pathogens, and more are in the water you drink day to day. Do you want the ability to remove and reduce those harmful things in the water you drink? You can. How? With a Berkey water filter. A complete standalone gravity filter system that requires no electricity and no plumbing. Used for emergencies or for every day. Berkey systems come in 7 different sizes. Where can you get one? From GetBerkey.com. That's GetBerkey.com. With the purchase of each system, you get 50% off accessories, such as fluoride filters, water level spigot, and sport bottles. Plus, free shipping on all orders over $25. For a limited time, get 5% off all ceramic systems when you use coupon code RBN. Call Get Berkey at 855-GET-BERKEY. That's 855-438-2375. Or visit GetBerkey.com. That's GetBerkey.com.
Well, finally, the officials back to Washington sends out a message that the ship moved farther out to sea. There were too many errors and too much time wasted. The bombs were coming down. It would be too late for liberty. Oh, please, can you tell me why so many of
Welcome back, folks, and thank you for hanging in, listening to Your Voice Counts. And, you know, as I say, I have to get a few Liberty things done. But, you know, when I began this show, I actually started out the Liberty Hour 4 or 5 years ago and ended up Your Voice Counts, which I do by myself now, except with, you know, when I get when I can't do it, Ron Kukl or James Morris or people like that gracefully will host it for me. But, you know, I didn't start this show to beat up on anybody or be called or be an anti-Semitic or anything like that. All we do is tell the truth. And the facts, you know, we let the facts, the chips fall where they may. Now, AIPAC and ADL and ICE and other people like that may want to call this show anti-Semitic. Well, we're not. We didn't kill anybody. Israel did the killing. We did not kill anybody. We didn't hurt anybody. It wasn't our intention to hurt anybody. We were in international waters doing what our country had ordered us to do, and which was lawfully legal. And that's exactly what we did. I want to thank my dear friend Kat Faber for her beautiful, beautiful songs and getting great guests on my radio show. And I should say our radio show, because it just isn't my show. I couldn't do it without her and people like Kukl and James and many, many others, and Sam, the board operator, and just all professionals. And we conduct ourselves that way as best as we can to get the truth out about the USS Liberty. We will never forget our lost brothers aboard the USS Liberty ever. As long as I'm alive, I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep this radio show going. But thank you, Kat, very, very much for your honored service to the USS Liberty, because we certainly appreciate it. Also, I want to thank a very dear friend of mine, John Gadusco. He's a wonderful website up, and if you want to get to one of the best sites on the internet, just go to tinyurl.com/USS Liberty. That's tinyurl.com/USS Liberty. And John has done so much for the crew of the USS Liberty. He is a former intelligence officer, like my guest coming up here in just a second, Mr. Dave Lewis, and I'm sure that they could swap some sea stories. But anyway, thank you, John, for all you've done for the crew of the USS Liberty, and that will never be forgotten. And finally, I want to thank this great radio station that has given me the opportunity and others to speak their voice and never forget the crew of the USS Liberty, one of the bravest crews in American history, one of the most damaged ships in the annals of the United States Navy. We've had so many people talk about this subject, and there's no doubt about it, folks. This attack on our ship was not a mistaken identity, as Israel and other Israeli firsters would have you believe. Our flag was flying as always. In fact, our largest flag was flying at the time of the torpedo attack, 7 by 13 feet. That was holiday colors. So, folks, without further ado, I'd like to bring on a true American hero that was aboard the USS Liberty and survived a ferocious torpedo attack fired by 3 torpedo boats. 5 torpedoes were fired at us, and 1 hit the starboard side, and unfortunately 25 of my guest's men that worked for him were blown to bits, regrettably, and they were all communication technicians. They worked for the National Security Agency, some of the most trusted and honored men that the United States government could put on any ship or any front line. We had them aboard our ship. So, Commander Lewis, welcome aboard to Your Voice Counts, and thank you very much for coming on, sir. And like I said, only you can tell it in your words, so begin wherever you'd like.
Okay, well, I went to the Naval Academy, and on graduation, my eyes were too bad for the line, so I went into cryptology. I progressed normally up through the line, and I got to the point where I needed my ticket punched with a seagoing tour, so I volunteered for the Liberty. On my first tour out, John Gadusco was my electronics material officer, and he's a wonderful man, but a terrible cribbage player. At one point, I think he owed me $500,000 playing double or nothing before we broke even. But on the Liberty, I was the so-called research officer. Of the crew of 295 on board the Liberty, 195 were my billets. I had the postal clerk and the supply clerks and the mess cooks and everything else in my roster. I didn't get to see much of the attack. I was down below decks pushing people to try to get them to find out who was doing this. Let me back up. Leaving Abidjan, I had 1-line orders. Find out who's doing what to whom. And that was the extent of it. But I was down below decks at the time that the torpedo hit. I was putting a bandage on Joe Lentini, who had gotten some shrapnel through the side of the ship. I was one of the exceedingly fortunate ones. I had a temporary bulkhead wrap itself around me, and I was blessed with a 30-year supply of burnt Navy paint. But aside from that, I came through pretty well, with just a couple of missing eardrums. Most everybody within 20 feet of me was killed instantly. I didn't get a chance to talk to the Court of Inquiry or have any contact with them. I was medevaced the following day to the America. And I guess my point of fame is that when they lanced my eyelids so I could see again, and I was called into Admiral Geist's office. Admiral Geist told me that he couldn't live with the secret that he had to tell somebody, but he swore me to secrecy for the duration of his life before he would tell me anything. He said that when the Saratoga received our SOS, he did as well. They reported it immediately to Washington, and the Saratoga got a flight off, and he was getting one ready when Audubon came on the line, and Robert McNamara ordered the aircraft recalled. He said he thought that somebody in Washington thought he was stupid enough to launch nuclear weapons because they were in the middle of a nuclear weapon drill at the time, and that's why the aircraft were recalled. So he reconfigured a flight. He said that use an aircraft incapable of carrying nukes, and again launched them, and again notified Washington. He didn't ask this time. He just launched. And immediately, almost, I'd better back up. People say things don't happen immediately. During Eisenhower's term of office, he got very upset when he was notified several hours after the fact on critical intelligence. So he instituted what he called Criticom. And the Criticom network is required to, when a critic message is passed, the Criticom network closes all switches straight into the White House. There's nothing higher priority. Flash priority is bumped aside. Everything is bumped aside to get a critic in. So obviously, the Criticom network was used because almost immediately Robert McNamara came back on the line and ordered the aircraft recalled. And Admiral Geist challenged the order. He said that the ship was under attack by unknown assailants, and he insisted that he be permitted to launch, and he challenged the order. And he said Lyndon Baines Johnson came on with the comment he didn't give a damn if the ship sunk, he would not embarrass his allies. So with that, I didn't say anything until our 20th reunion when Admiral Murrow told me that Admiral Geist had passed away. I revealed that information, and everybody said that I was a liar until a CT in Fort Laote said that he was the one that patched the circuit through.
Hang on, Dave. We have to go to another break. Then we'll get back on air. Very interesting conversation, folks, from a very interesting, brave human being, and I was very proud to serve with him. Remember, your sponsors on Real News, Real Talk, Real People, RBN, because you can't handle the truth. See you in just a minute.
If you're taking 1, 2, 5, or more nutritional supplements, please stop. Simplify your supplementation with Bio Superfood, the most advanced nutritional whole food supplement you can buy. Men, women, children, even Olympic athletes the world over have discovered Bio Superfood from BioAge.com. And now take just one nutritional supplement instead of many. The Bio Superfood formulas are whole food products composed with 4 of the most nutrient-dense algae found on Earth. Bio Superfood for the brain helps with focus, memory, clarity, and mood. If you can increase brain health, the rest of the body is a no-brainer. Bio Superfood has 0 toxicity and is safe for you and your family. Learn more and order your Bio Superfood formulas at BioAge.com, spelled BIOAGE.com, BioAge.com, or call 877-288-9116. That's 877-288-9116. BioAge, the age of advanced organics.
There are many water filters to choose from, but there is only one system that is consistently customer rated 5 stars as the #1 system for effective filtration of fluoride, radiation, drug residues, heavy metals, a wide range of radioisotopes, and more. Introducing the Pure Effect Ultra, the next generation water filter that also raises alkaline pH, improves antioxidant potential, and has advanced anti-radiation technology, all while using no electricity. Sold worldwide, it provides virtually instant clean water on demand. It is not made in China, and the shipping is free to all 50 states. Buy your Pure Effect Ultra today by visiting PureEffectFilters.com. or call 888-891-4821. Again, that's 888-891-4821. Or visit PureEffectFilters.com.
Are you facing foreclosure? Worried about late payments? Fight back and stay in your home. Zero Debt Guaranteed can help. We'll send you a free ebook just for calling 800-477-9256. Or go to ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. Get the details on how to remove your risk to your debt. And so important to many homeowners today, how to stop foreclosure. Forget loan modification. The Zero Debt in 90 Days system can show you how to get the bank to pay your property taxes and insurance while stopping your foreclosure without paying one dime. You can take control, stop foreclosure, protect your cash, assets, wages, property, and sleep peacefully at night. We've been helping people for over 18 years. Call Zero Debt Guaranteed, 800-477-9256. Ask for free information, no obligation. That's 800-477-9256. Or visit ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com now.
They said that Israeli forces knew not of the Liberty's true identity, and so they took advantage.
Welcome back, folks, to Your Voice Counts. Thank you very much for hanging in there. And again, support your sponsors on RBN. It does a lot to keep this radio show going and many, many other great shows on this fine radio station, Republic Broadcasting Network. Dave, you said something very interesting, and I've talked to it about, I don't know, to how many different survivors, and of course, Admiral Moore and Admiral Starring and whoever I could talk to it about. But when Lyndon Baines Johnson said that he was not going to embarrass his ally, how did he know who was attacking us when we didn't know who was attacking us?
That's a good question. That was, 2 or 3 hours before he was officially notified.
Absolutely. So it's always, there's been so many different theories, but for him to leave us out there, to basically all of us to be slaughtered, thankfully by the hand of God, that did not happen. But with the damage and everything that the ship took, there was no doubt that they wanted that ship on the bottom and as soon as possible.
I just finished reading an interesting book. I don't know if you've heard of it or not. The title is Beyond Treason.
Oh, yes, I have heard of that book. I have. And I in fact, I ordered the book.
Yeah. I just finished it. It's, the only complaint I have about it is he used a lot more words than I thought was needed. But he's a lawyer, and he presented an outstanding case for Lyndon Johnson to be tried for treason.
I also agree with that. He should have been tried for treason. And what bothers me, and I think it bothered Admiral Moore and everybody else that have tried to help us and get the true story out to their dying breath, is the malicious and ongoing cover-up, not just by the LBJ administration, but all administrations and all congressmen and senators that will not touch us with a 10-foot pole. As you know, you being on the board of directors, that we did several years back, 5 or 6 years back, did a very thorough analysis and submitted a war crime petition to the Secretary of the Army. And that's as far as it went. I guess it went in the trash can. Have you heard anything else about that, Dave?
They won't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Yes, absolutely. And I think the reason of that is the power that is influenced over our government through AIPAC and ADL and the people that do the bidding of certain people in Israel. And I've had a lot of Jewish guests on my show that are appalled by that and can't understand why our government just won't come out and fess up, as well as the government of Israel, and make everything right. But I think both you and I know that's never going to happen, as much as I would like it to.
I've talked to an awful lot of people that are anti-Zionists that are Jewish. It's not the Jewish people by any stretch of the imagination, but their government has been run by the Zionists for many, many years, and they don't seem to be able to find anyone else that'll step in. Don't know.
No, I agree totally. It's the Zionists that have the control, and they're going to keep the control. And it is a proven fact with friends of the USS Liberty. Pete McCluskey, a former congressman from California, lost his job because he spoke out about the Zionist connection to the United States, as well as Paul Finley and Representative Hostetler and a few others. In fact, Adlai Stevenson was on this show, and he was very adamant, Dave. He said, I did everything I could to get an investigation into the murderous assault on your ship, the USS Liberty, but it went nowhere. And he was in charge of the Foreign Relations Committee at that time, and they blocked him at every turn. So I guess the only way that we're going to get justice or keep the memory of our shipmates alive is with radio shows like this and books, Beyond Treason and others. And also that is quite disturbing is the mass grave in Arlington never has really told the true story of the men that are buried there.
At least we got the gravestone changed.
Yes,
they didn't die in a barroom brawl any longer.
Absolutely, and that's what they wanted to think. And died in the Mediterranean somewhere. Then we're going to take some callers. Folks, you can call in at, the phone number, 1-800-313-9443. So we'll see you on just a little bit, and then we'll take about a 17-minute run, and the show will be over. So hang on, Dave. We'll be right back.
It would be too late for liberty.
You're listening to the Republic Broadcasting Network, because you can handle the truth.
$4, $5, $6, even $7 a gallon? According to fuel industry insiders and economic experts, those are the forecasted fuel prices, with no end in sight. Fight back fuel prices with a fuel saver from airfusionsystems.com. These fuel savers can save you from 20 to 40%. They're designed to fit any vehicle from compacts to SUVs to transport trucks. The fuel saver works on all gas, diesel, even propane engines. Easy do-it-yourself installation in about 15 minutes. And the best part? No engine modifications, no computer chipping, no running wires, no chemicals, no water, no running costs, and no maintenance. And these fuel savers come complete with all parts and accessories. See how it works at airfusionsystems.com, spelled AIRFUSION systems.com, or call 888-887-9981, 888-887-9981. Fuel savers from airfusionsystems.com. Save fuel, save money, save Earth.
Herbal Healer Academy's new summer specials. Our 500 parts per million colloidal silver, all sizes on sale. Organic liquid iodine, liquid cal, mag, vitamin D, CoQ10 with hawthorn, colon enhancer, Super 2, natural laxative, our exceptional product Connexin, memory power, and Super Male and Femplex. All on sale for the summer at herbalhealer.com. Also, 10% off on the HHA survival course. This is an important time to have this information. Might save your life. Nation's leader in supplying quality natural medicine and education. herbalhealer.com. Free online newsletter. Quality natural medicine supplier since 1988. We ship the same day you place your order. Free 128-page catalog with your first order. Go to herbalhealer.com today. herbalhealer.com.
Meet Jerry D.
Hi.
Jerry and his family, like you, are very concerned about world conditions and have gathered many emergency preparedness items, including turtle tough shelters.
We have added 2 24-foot turtle tufts to our supplies and feel very secure knowing our large family is ready for whatever the future may bring.
Turtle tough shelters are not tents. They are permanent yet portable 4-season geodesic frame shelters that are as strong as a cabin at a fraction of the cost and are easy to set up, take down, and move anywhere. Available in 2 sizes. Get your Turtle Tough shelter and accessories included at TurtleToughShelters.com. That's Turtle TUFFshelters.com, or call 801-623-3288. That's 801-623-3288, or see them online at TurtleToughShelters.com. Turtle Tough Shelters, your all-season home away from home.
Time has finally come for the story to be told.
Welcome back, folks. Here we go to your last 17 or 18 minutes of Your Voice Counts, and then we'll have a little break and we'll close out the show. But I wanted to let you know, Dave, I remember in the mess decks, and of course I'm sure you couldn't see with what had happened to you. You were very lucky to get out of those torpedo spaces, but there was a sea of bodies and blood and guts in the mess decks and in sick bay. Everywhere you could lay a body, there was one there. That's how bad it was, folks. Either two-thirds of the crew was either wounded or dead, and it's a sad state of affairs, but it's a true story. And I also want to thank Dr. Richard Kiefer for his fine efforts as being a surgeon and a great doctor and a good friend. He saved many, many lives that day. We have a guest here, Gary. Let's take Gary first. And Gary, please, you're on there. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, Stan. Phil, this is Gary.
Hello, Gary Brummett. How you doing, sir?
Let's say, Mr. Dave, you doing okay this evening?
Hello, Gary. I'm doing great.
Well, hopefully you're not freezing up there in the far north. We're not so bad down here. Just wanted to call and tell you I was enjoying listening to you on the program tonight. And, you know, Phil brought it up a minute ago about harassment, for the lack of a better word, that Congress and the Senate receives if they do anything against or what is or abuse against them. I notice it's quite interesting. Chuck Hagel, a twice-wounded Vietnam vet, two-term senator from Nebraska, they're looking at, he's going to be nominated for Secretary of Defense, but I rather doubt that he will get it. The same people that don't want our story told don't want American patriots in office, and that's a hell of a crying shame, sir.
Yeah, I know.
Mr. Dave, I won't take up any time. I don't really have any questions. I think I'm fairly well versed on the events. But it was great you were on the program tonight, and just wanted to let you know we was listening and wish you a Happy New Year.
We did get 10 inches of snow today, 18 inches the day before yesterday.
Okay, burn plenty of natural gas, and thank you, your friends in the South.
Right. Nice talking to you, Gary.
All right, Mr. Dave. Talk to y'all later. Good evening.
Thank you, Gary. That was one of the survivors that stood his ground as heroically as he could in the bowels of the ship. And he was a boilerman and never left the spot. He stayed right there, as same as the CTs did, the communication technicians. They stayed right there, and many of them, 25 of them, lost their lives for it. Heroes, each and every one of them. We also have another survivor here online, Ron Kukl from, I was going to say Nebraska because he used to live there, but he's up in Wyoming. How you doing, Ron? Hello, Ron.
Hey, I thought I lost you there for a minute. You there?
We're here. Are you there?
I'm here. I guess I'm here. Okay. I just wanted to say hello to Dave. I wanted to bring up a couple of things real quick. Hopefully there'll be more survivors call in. Admiral Starring stayed at my house a few years back, sat at my breakfast table, looked me straight in the eye, and told me that the papers for the USS Liberty came across his desk one day. He never got a chance to review anything. I think he said he had to review the testimony with the facts of the case. He never got to do that. The papers were stolen off his desk the very same day. When he came back to work this morning, those papers were gone. He never got to do his job. I won't go any further than that because literally I've never been so honored in my life as to have Admiral Starring stop here in Sheridan, Wyoming to tell me the story about, what happened to him. Dave, how's the Christmas tree farm going?
Well, I didn't sell many this year, only 150.
Oh, well,
much of a market.
Well, maybe there's such a profit in that you don't have to sell many. I don't know, but, it's good to talk to you, and I just want to, if nothing more, just tell you thank you for helping me a few years back when I spoke at the Navy Ball down in Goodfellow Air Force Base. I don't know if you remember the help you gave me. Was a little bit uptight about talking to the over 400 Coast Guard, Navy, Marine, Army officers and men that night, but it was a lot of fun. And the pomp and circumstance that night, my wife was absolutely astounded at the Navy Ball that night. Thank you for that.
I didn't do you much help at all. You did it all yourself.
Well, the support was there, Dave. That's about all I cared about. I've called into this radio show. This is a pretty peaceful night for me. I've called in from I don't know how many spots in this country. Phil could probably name them to you, but and it's been pretty noisy. But I made sure it was a quiet one tonight. Dave, God bless you. You were my department head. I respect you. I salute you, and thank you very much for all what you've done for the USS Liberty survivors. I'm going to get off here so the rest of the guys can come on if there's more coming on.
Okay, Ron. I just wanted to ask you one question.
You can do with age now, does it?
No, it doesn't. Oh. Nothing to do with age this time. But okay. You're from you were born in Nebraska, and Gary just brought up a very good point about Senator Hagel being nominated by the President of the United States to become the Secretary of Defense, and how much whining and crying is coming out of the Zionist State of Israel and AIPAC and ADL that he is a Jew hater and all sorts of dirty names that this gentleman doesn't deserve. Now, I know you've written to Senator Hagel, and you've probably talked to him or probably even met the man. I don't know, but what is your view about what's going on or how he's being treated?
Senator Hagel, actually, he was going to speak at one of our reunions. I remember that quite well. I talked to personally with his staff out in western part of Nebraska, and he was getting the word, and not sure what made him back off that night. As far as I'm concerned, he's an honest man. He's just getting the same bunch of junk thrown at him as, Ed Peck told me. Ambassador Peck said, this stuff is nothing but a bunch of BS. It always has been, and that's what they throw at you. And Hagel's he's a good man, he's an honest man, and he's taken that finger being pointed at him, as we have for a lot of years on this show, and we've had to just walk right through it and stand on our own reputation. And so he's a good man, as far as I'm concerned. I wish he could get there, but Gary's probably right.
Well, thank you, shipmate, and thank you, Gary, and all you guys for your support and calling in and supporting this show, and Dave and everybody else. And it's folks, this is such a wonderful, beautiful, loving country. We give so much to everybody. It's too bad it isn't like the old days, the beaver cleaver days, if you know what I'm saying. We didn't have to worry about such goings on that's going on now, and a lot of it has to do with our passion and attachment towards Israel, and people understand that, and it's too bad that American blood and lives have to be lost because of it. But we are who we are, the greatest country in the world, and let's hope we can stay that way. So thank you guys for coming on. We got James Morris in California. Now, James is he's got a internet site called ushijacked.com. I didn't get a chance to go on there, James, and look at what you wanted me to. I've been just so darn busy, but thank you for calling in, and welcome aboard, and please go ahead and talk to Commander Dave Lewis, please.
Phil, thanks for taking my call. It's an honor to be friends with you and Ron Kukl, and I recall Dave Lewis from the Dead in the Water BBC documentary. I was friends with Dick Thompson, the producer of it, like we all were, and I've seen Dave on there, and my heart just goes out to all the survivors that have had to put up with the cover-up from that, coming down from the highest level of the Johnson presidency down through John McCain's father and himself. And I think I just wanted to thank you for being there that day on the phone when I confronted McCain in San Diego, John McCain Jr., of course, the son of Admiral McCain, and Senator, and how he basically, when he called me a jerk in response, he called the crew a jerk, the families of the murdered Liberty crew jerks. And I just wanted to get Dave Lewis's reaction to that. Again, you can go to that YouTube. It's at 27,000 views now, and Phil's request at the end of that YouTube still hasn't been responded to by McCain or any of his staffers at his office that Phil had eaten with that YouTube. And I know the show's archived, so I'll give it quickly. It's tinyurl.com/McCain Confronted. It's there. And just to close here with Hagel, Senator Hagel, I've been in touch with his office, or at least his assistant. He's asked me to call him on Monday. And I found out that Senator Hagel's on the board of directors at PBS. And former CIA field officer Phil Giraldi's just come out with a wonderful review of that Valentino's Ghost film that I'm in when I had that exchange with Lee Hamilton in Washington about why we were attacked on 9/11 U.S. support for Israel. And, of course, PBS is going to censor that and take that part out along with the AIPAC parts. But I'm going to ask Chuck Hagel's assistant about that on Monday and, of course, express my full support for his nomination. He's the only one who's going to keep us out of a war with Iran. I hope he becomes a defense secretary. Of course, as Phil mentioned here, the ADL, AIPAC, American Israel Public Affairs Committee, that John Mearsheimer, Stephen Walt write about in their book, The Israel Lobby and U.S. Foreign Policy Address. and of course the neocon Israel firsters that push us into all these worse wars for Israel. And they don't want Hagel there, and I'll close with this, because he can possibly and will tell President Obama it's crazy to attack Iran for Israel as well. It could ignite a wider war in the region, and it could become the next world war, and not only crash our economy in the process when the gasoline price goes up to $12 a gallon or more. And with that, I'll leave it at that, and it's an honor to be friends with all of you, and nice hearing you on the air too, sir. Dave Lewis.
Go ahead, Dave. Would you like to comment on that?
No, I agree with most of what he said. I'd like to see Chuck Hagel get in. You were talking earlier about John Finley. It was amusing. I got a call from a lady in California saying, would you agree to an interview with a gentleman from Cairo? I don't know if you heard of him or not, Abdul Farouk Abziz. He's writing a book on John Finley, and he came all the way from Cairo up to my little town of Leamington, Vermont, to get an interview.
Okay, now is that would that be the Congressman Paul Finley from Illinois, correct?
Yes, he's making a movie in the Far East for Paul Finley. Yeah,
outstanding. He's a wonderful man, and he's done so many great things for the USS Liberty. It's unbelievable, and I believe, I don't know for sure, but I believe Paul's probably a little bit over in his 90s now. What do you say, Dave?
I think he's 91, 92. Yes, he's past 90.
He's
still very active.
Oh yeah, he's still active. It just seems, almost uncanny how fast forward from June 8th to 1967 till now, how fast time has gone by, and how little that we've really accomplished in trying to get the true story out. And they say that they've had 12 to 14 investigations on Capitol Hill into the USS Liberty, and there has not been one.
Hasn't been one.
It's simply unbelievable that people will, believe that when they get letters, and I've seen letters to that very fact. In fact, I've got from my own senators and congressmen, not the ones that are in office now. I quit writing them because it doesn't make any difference anymore. But they said yes, we've had many investigations, and that. And I told them I was a survivor, and I haven't heard of any of those investigations, and I never hear from them again. Have you experienced anything like that, Dave?
Oh, yes. Anytime I write someone in Congress and ask them to investigate it, the first thing I do is tell them to avoid asking the Navy, because you'll get the same boilerplate that they've given for 40-some-odd years, and you'll never get a true answer out of them. No, there has been no congressional investigation. Our problem is, by the time we've educated a generation in the United States as to the facts of the life, they've grown up, and they've got to start all over again.
Oh, absolutely. And, the dedication it takes and the time and to get things done, or try to get things done. And I'm not saying that we haven't done a lot of good things. We've got a wonderful library, and we got a wonderful park, and a cornerstone up in Zimmerman, Minnesota, and of course Grafton, Wisconsin. We have many other things around the country, recognizing the crew of the USS Liberty, but it never really comes out to the full magnitude of what happened that day. And you being a naval officer, and in the highest degree of a naval officer, of keeping this country's secrets safe and secure and honest, you being an honest American citizen, When you were debriefed, were you told any specific thing by any one particular person, or how did that work?
That's amazing. I was completely ignored. Nobody ever spoke to me about it. When I got out of Bethesda Naval Hospital and checked in, the only thing that happened to me, the Admiral called me in and he said, "Lewis, goddamn you just scuttled my fleet and you're going to do penance."
Boy.
I said, "Aye, Admiral, what's my penance?" He said, "You're going to replace my fleet."
Replace the fleet.
He gave me $45 million in R&D funds to do it.
Oh, boy. I'll tell you what, we got one more break coming up, folks. Hang on, support your sponsors at Republic Broadcasting Network. Real news, real talk, real people, because you can't handle the truth. And we'll get Mr. Lewis's closing thoughts, and God bless you all for listening. We'll see you in just a minute.
Introducing Michael Anthony's Private Stock Herbal Formulas, infection killer for all infections, viral, bacterial, fungal, parasitic. My Rapid Heal for all injuries enables the body to mend super fast. My System Toner, the Rejuvenator, tune-up for the entire body, head to toe, keeping it youthful, the mind positive and focused. Dragon Juice, the Revitalizer, pure power in a delicious drink. If your body's dragging, you need Dragon Juice. Lung Formula for asthma and all lung afflictions, arthritis fix, great tasting herbal teas, and more. Michael Anthony's Private Stock exclusive herbal formulas. To find out more, call 845-231-1094 or email Michael Anthony's Private Stock at yahoo.com. Michael Anthony's Private Stock exclusive herbal formulas.
Corporate media dominates the American opinion. Finding independent voices that counter this avalanche is becoming increasingly difficult. With the endless corruption running rampant throughout our government, independent voices are needed more than ever to battle the offensive against our freedoms and liberties. As a listener of RBN, no one understands this concept better than you. Now it's up to you to do your part. The time has come for you to take action and begin broadcasting the truth to hundreds or thousands of people every month. Sound impossible? Quite the contrary. With pointed slogans from LibertyStickers.com, you can reach countless sleeping Americans unaware that they live in a real-life wonderland. LibertyStickers.com has a huge inventory of political bumper stickers and messages that reflect the truth about our government, our politicians, and the future of America. With so many in stock, there's one perfect for you. Visit us today at LibertyStickers.com. Again, that's LibertyStickers.com. Do your part. Your voice is important. Let it be heard.
If you're taking 1, 2, 5, or more nutritional supplements, please stop. Simplify your supplementation with Bio Superfood, the most advanced nutritional whole food supplement you can buy. Men, women, children, even Olympic athletes the world over have discovered Bio Superfood from BioAge.com. And now take just one nutritional supplement instead of many. The Bio Superfood formulas are whole food products composed with 4 of the most nutrient-dense algae found on Earth. Bio Superfood for the brain helps with focus, memory, clarity, and mood. If you can increase brain health, the rest of the body is a no-brainer. Bio Superfood has 0 toxicity and is safe for you and your family. Learn more and order your Bio Superfood formulas at BioAge.com, spelled BIOAGE.com, BioAge.com, or call 877-288-9116. That's 877-288-9116. BioAge, the age of advanced organics.
Well, finally, the officials back from Washington sent out a message that the ship moved farther out to sea.
Welcome back, folks. Here we go for the last few minutes of the show, and I want to take this time to thank Mr. Dave Lewis for coming on Your Voice Counts and giving your testimony that will live forever. You were there, and you know what happened, and it's just a crying shame that it did happen because those 4 men died like they did. And my goal and I think every one of the survivors' goals and their families is that this never ever happens to anybody else, our sons, our grandsons, or anybody else's sons or grandsons.
It can't happen with a security group anymore. I started to tell you, he gave me $45 million in R&D funds, and the intelligence collection suite was designed that will fit in a helicopter hangar that has 100 times the capacity of the 10,000-ton Liberty. And last time I was stationed at no such agency, a procurement document came across my desk for $450 million to procure 30 of those. So we're not collecting intelligence on non-combatants any longer.
Well, it sounds certainly like the National Security Agency and all agencies of special ops were not very happy with their men being taken out like they were taken out. Is that what you're saying, Dave?
Well, no, of course they weren't happy. And the AGTRs, AGERs, TAGs, and so forth were built as a reaction to the Soviet tuna trawlers. The Russians and the U.S. played the game by the same rules. Unfortunately, Israel and North Korea didn't. That was another thing that the Admiral said when he was chewing me out. He said, now any third-rate power will attack us with impunity. And that was 3 weeks before the Pueblo got hit. But he knew what he was talking about. Yeah, they're only non-combatants now that we collect intelligence.
I see, and you're exactly right. Commander Bucher, I talked to him on the phone one time, and he told me, he says, Phil, he says, if I would have known about the USS Liberty, the Pueblo would have never been captured. I think what he was trying to say that he wouldn't have put himself or his ship in harm's way, but I think he was in international waters just like we were, so I don't know what the man could do, what he could possibly do.
Well, another thing that happened while I was assigned to the Nebraska Avenue, they were putting the collection equipment on board the Pueblo, and she was way overloaded. I fought it tooth and nail, but the collection people won, and the thing went out there, and the Pueblo really wasn't seaworthy, and there's not much they could do about getting out of there.
Wow. Well, Dave, here comes that beautiful, beautiful music of cats, and I want to thank you, sir, and for your service to this country, your service to USS Liberty, and thank you for coming back or coming on my radio show, Your Voice Counts, and you're welcome back anytime, sir, and God bless you and your family always. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Phil. Yep. Goodbye.
Was the song